Welcome to the Wilson County News. I'm Richard.
I'm John.
On our show for you today, we talk about the Lebanon High School traffic school board meeting, the most wanted in Wilson County, Town Square, the twins at Castle Heights Upper Elementary, the city meeting, horses, cleanup, and the sequestration with Wolfie on Entertainment. So, let's go to Coleman Walker's.
Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution presented to Coleman Walker be included as a permanent part of the minutes of the Wilson County Board of Education meeting held on March 4, 2013.
Thank you, Coleman, for your service to the community. We appreciate your coverage for the school system and all the children of Wilson County. And we wish you 50 more years of being on the air. Okay, we hope you beat Paul Harvey.
Oh,
okay.
So thank you so much.
Thank you for this, and if you would like to say something, we'd sure like to hear your words.
Well, I'll be real brief. I know that we don't have a lot of time. Got a big ball game to go to, but it's been my pleasure to be doing this for over 19 years, and I really am glad to I think support education, not only with the director of schools being there once a month at least, but in the GED program, we try to do that. And I just, I thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Coleman Walker got the Red House School Award from the school board.
Yep.
In appreciation for everything that he's done in his history in the city.
I like his show.
I do too.
I like his show. I listen to it.
We want to let you know, though, the school board is taking applications for the new committee member, because Mr. Mike Davis had announced in December that he would resign effective June 30th.
That's right. That's exactly.
What was all that about, John?
I guess it was because he pushed so bad that the old high school was so bad. You know, this whole high school thing is nothing but movers and shakers and the whole 9 yards.
Right,
it just makes me.
Yeah,
mad.
but he didn't think it was too bad for a junior high school.
Of course not.
So it turned a lot of people against him.
The whole thing is not cool. I mean, they let that whole school go down deliberately. It just amazes me at what they want to do just to keep up with the Joneses or Mount Juliet, apparently.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
And when the Watertown High School gets built, Wilson Central will officially be the oldest high school in Wilson County at that point. But also, Lebanon High School. They're talking about the traffic issues at Lebanon High School.
Yes.
Now, they did put up some extra traffic signs and stuff and tried to slow the traffic down, but for about 25 to 30 minutes is what they're saying in the morning, from 7:15 to 7:45 is when the traffic there at the high school is
That's right.
gotten so bad.
Yes.
If you think back to the old Lebanon High School, there was 5 ways to get in and out of that school. You had the place over next to Ryan's.
Mm-hmm.
When you come in there, you can go either next to the ball field or turn down a little road and go across the railroad tracks and turn in there. So there's 2 sections there. The other one is over behind the courthouse where the used to be the health clinic when I was in school there. That's number 3. Number 4 was right there behind McFarland Hospital. And number 5 was over at the fairgrounds, because when you came in from that side, you could either go down to McFarland or go straight ahead and come down next to the football field.
But the main thing is that they had an exit planned at this other school, and what happened to that? What was that about?
Well,
they were only going to open the gate for 10 minutes, right?
They said that Hickory Ridge was not designed for that amount of traffic for the 30 minutes that it may have been, or an hour that school was letting out or taking in. And plus the neighbors there were told originally that there was not going to be any traffic there. So when they were trying to open it up to relieve the traffic issue.
Yeah, but there's actually 2 ways out of there. Once you come out of that gate, you can go to the left or you can go to the right. So, 10 minutes would have made that big of a deal.
They deliberately put it to where there was 1 entrance, 1 exit, though, coming out onto the new Hartman.
They just
Drive.
made that agreement so that those people in the neighborhood wouldn't complain when they were originally setting up their stuff. So,
and, Well, what can they do? The only thing that they can do now is fix the road or add another entrance.
And we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Jerry Kramer, and I am with the CMG Radio Club. We are bringing a great music festival extravaganza to Lebanon, April 27th and 28th, the whole weekend, a fun-filled family weekend. And there's 44 acts, 9 artists, and we'd like to invite you to come out. The details you can find at childrensteddybearfoundation.com. You can buy your tickets there too.
Let's face it, the economy is terrible. Here's a chance to make an extra $1,400 a month. Who couldn't use that?
It's the movement. I'm a Lino Dr. I. It's the movement. I'm a Lino Dr. I. It's the movement. I'm a Lino Dr. I. I'm hiding, I'm on fire. I'm a Lino Dr. I. I'm hiding, I'm on fire. I'm a Lino Dr. I. I'm hiding, I'm on fire. I'm a Lino Dr. I. I'm hiding, I'm on fire. Rappers in my city mad, praying, wishing I retired. Cause it's the movement. I told y'all, Jonesy, Jancy.
The City Cafe East is the best kept lunch secret in Nashville. If you're starving and want real home cooked food, this is the place. Folks, this is the best meat and 3 in Nashville. Chef George prepares mouth-watering specials every day. Choose from baked chicken, pork chops, turkey and dressing, and of course, the best roast beef anywhere. The City Cafe East, the best meat and 3 in town, is open Monday through Friday, 10 to 2:30 for your convenience. City Cafe East, 1455 Lebanon Pike at Spence Lane. The way cooking should be.
Well, the Lebanon Square's not over yet, as you know, but let me tell you what's going on. They are done with all the surveys. They are done with everything except for now, I believe, what I was told was that they are going to have a session at the City Hall commission meeting, and they're going to have people that want to come there, and that's the last point of that deal, and then everything will be finalized. And let me just tell you something really quick. I'd rather have all the stuff, the square divided off like it was in the 40s, or 48 or whatever. I'd rather have that than stoplights or stop signs at every entrance into there, because it'll just...
I'd rather they just leave it as is, but that's another thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, new Wilson County Most Wanted is Janelis Antoine Steverson. I hope I said that right. Anyway, he's 5'8", weight approximately 170 pounds, was last seen on Red Fox Court in Lebanon. His warrant is for failure to appear. If you know this man or you may have seen him, you can call 444-1412 extension 208 to let the police know where he might be.
I bet you he's not in this town.
But the next thing, Castle Heights is going to be on national TV. Can you believe that? Castle Heights, the elementary school.
Elementary school, that's right.
And it's so wild because this elementary school has 15 sets of twins.
That's right.
In a school of 600 students. Now, the Lebanon Democrat picked this up. Then it was picked up by the in Nashville on Channel 2. And now it's went national.
Yeah.
So this is very much a rare occasion the way I'm taking it. But to have 15 sets of twins in one school.
And they're going to put them on, I forget what the name of the show is. Do you remember?
It would say a rocket, NBC's Rock Center with Brian Williams.
That's right. That's the show it's going to be on.
The principal, Terry Trice, said that that they worked with him. They send things home to get permissions to have the students on TV. They worked with the kids so that they didn't miss school. They're getting their education and all that, but they were able to get together and film these kids.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I mean, there's more stuff going on. That's for sure.
Yeah. So hey, we'll be right back.
Well, we had a Lebanon City Council meeting Tuesday night, and they covered quite a few little spots, and we're going to just lightly touch base on them for you, because you can watch the whole thing in its entirety on www.wilsoncounty-news.com, and go right to them, and it's not a problem there. Just follow the peaks. But anyway, first thing I want to talk about is the silent crossings. These are railroad crossings where the arms come down so the train doesn't have to blow the whistle when it goes up there, because it's disturbing a lot of people at 6 in the morning or whatever it is, and they can't sleep. So they have on some of Spring Creek roads or whatever, they're going to actually install them, and that's what they're working towards right now. And the second thing is that they touched base on is the voting centers. And this is pretty cool, because no matter where you are, when it comes time to vote, you can turn around and go to any of those centers, stop in there, whatever's convenient for you, whether it be down in Lebanon or at your regular center at one of the schools, any place there's a voting center for Wilson County, you can stop and vote.
Yeah,
so
because
before
really cool. They had you assigned to a certain station. When you got off work and went to vote, you had to be there before it closed, or you had to go to work late and be there in the morning when it opened.
And when they had the early voting, because they're going to eliminate the early voting, when they had that, you could stop down in town at the voting center and vote there. So that's basically what that really was. The third thing is Rock 10, which is a company that's up on Hartman Drive, and they want a half acre that the city owns where that water tower's on, and they want to expand their shop. They're talking about hiring an extra 90 people or so. Most of them, they're talking about, most of them are going to be all local, as many as they can, that have the education of what they want to do. But they have to tear down the water tower. So this is kind of a thing, and right now they were at this meeting, they only got like 10 or 15 days, because there's other companies, other parts of their companies that they want to do this in other states, so they're kind of in competition for it. So it'll be interesting to see what really takes place there.
The other thing we have is the Southern Special Therapeutic and Recreational Riding.
That's right.
Students are actually needing some volunteers to help with special need kids.
Well, your mother deals with the special needs
Yes,
kids, right?
she's a special ed teacher over at Southside, and she says that this really helps those kids. Do
they ride the horses? I mean, do they?
Yeah, they actually put the kids on the horses.
I saw a picture.
And let them ride the horses, and just the being with the animal and the motion and everything makes the students more sociable. Okay, helps with their relieving of stress and everything.
They have a tendency of being introverted. Is that what it is that the kids do?
They don't want to, really socialize with anybody else. Some of them, but by them being with animals, that allows them to relieve some stress, and they become more social naturally.
And your mother's already dealt with this.
Yes, quite a bit.
I thought so.
One of the boys, Casey, he was too scared to get on a big horse, although Casey's 6 foot tall. And he was scared to be on a big horse, so they put him on one of those Shetland ponies, and his feet were still touching the ground, and took a picture, and he was happy with that. Yeah. So that was really funny. The other thing that we want to tell you is that the Keep America Beautiful is on it began March 1st. All counties in Tennessee are participating.
Yeah.
And so they want you to pick up some trash.
Yeah, and we'll be right back after these commercial messages.
Hi, this is Jerry Kramer, and I am with the CMG Radio Club. We are bringing a great music festival extravaganza to Lebanon. April 27th and 28th, the whole weekend, a fun-filled family weekend. And there's 44 acts, 9 artists, and we'd like to invite you to come out. The details you can find at childrensteddybearfoundation.com. You can buy your tickets there too.
Let's face it, the economy is terrible. Here's a chance to make an extra $1,400 a month. Who couldn't use that?
That'll be $15.50 for the pizza. You got any gold?
These days, seems like everybody is trying to buy your gold.
Hey, lady, I'll give you 20 bucks for those earrings.
But not everyone will pay you top dollar. At Lebanon Jewelry and Coin Exchange, 612 South Cumberland, for Always Buying Gold, 2975 South Rutherford Boulevard in Murfreesboro, we have been buying jewelry, coins, sterling silver, even broken jewelry for over 20 years. We will weigh your items right in front of you and pay you top dollar in cash. So bring your gold to one of these 2 locations. Why take your chances anywhere else? The City Cafe East is the best kept lunch secret in Nashville. If you're starving and want real home cooked food, this is the place. Folks, this is the best meat and 3 in Nashville. Chef George prepares mouth-watering specials every day. Choose from baked chicken, pork chops, turkey and dressing, and of course, the best roast beef anywhere. The City Cafe East, the best meat and 3 in town, is open Monday through Friday, 10 to 2:30 for your convenience. City Cafe East, 1455 Lebanon Pike at Spence Lane. The way cooking should be.
Okay, when Congress passed a Budget Control Act in 2011, they never thought sequestration would become Washington's most hated buzzword.
But first, let's just go back for a second, because Obama really came up with this. Congress went along with it because they turned around and said that he's got to make some cuts, so they give him the tax breaks and everything that he needed for the money. The problem is that he wanted the tax breaks so that he could get more money, because that's what it is. When you close up loopholes and take tax breaks, you're taking more money from the people. It's just like raising their taxes, and that's how it is. So when he did that, he felt that when the time came for him to do his thing, which was to turn around and cut the budget, he turned around dang-danging it and thought that he was just going to blow it off. And that's what the game was. He tried to blow it off. They turned around and said, no, you can't. And, hey, the only thing I'm going to say about it is this. I have to have my home on a budget. I have to run my budget. I wish I could go out to a tree and pick money off of it. It would be a great thing. But they're spending something like $80 million more a day, and this cut doesn't even take care of all of that. So,
well, the sequestration cut was compared to if you were making
2%.
Yeah, so if you were making $3,000 a week, and you were spending $4,000 a week, and then somebody said that, well, you've got to take $20 out of your budget. What difference is it?
I mean, you do. That's what we always do.
Well, Tennessee said they will lose roughly $14.8 million in funding for the primary and secondary schools. Now, this is what gets me. Every time they want to raise taxes, they say that, okay, we're doing it for the children. We're doing it for schools. We're doing it for the police officers. We're doing it for the fire department. Yet, when it comes to cuts, they're going to cut them immediately. That's what they're going to cut?
Well, no. They at the school board meeting, I was there, so what they really think is that they're looking for it to hit in June or July.
Right, so it's not affecting this school year.
No, it's not. But here's the real deal. The real deal is Obama, and this is what he's getting in trouble with right today. They have found out and gotten emails and stuff that he is deliberately making these cuts hurt everything that anybody needs or wants to do. Your trips on your planes, all of that, and they don't have to be there. So Obama, no matter if you like him or not, he is absolutely playing a freaking game, and it's really a shame. I mean, our government is such a shame today.
Okay, well, what's the deal about Obama purchasing these military vehicles?
This just came
out. Over
$1 million rounds
of ammunition.
Right, and not for the Army. No.
Okay, was it Air Force?
No. It's the government. The
federal government
bought over 1 million rounds of ammunition, and I forget if it's 30 or 60 armored vehicles. Now, why would the federal government, not the Army or anything, why would the federal government have those kind of that kind of ammunition? And does that not kind of tie in with these?
He takes. He's got to have the extra security on the trip he takes.
No. No, this is really about us. Hey, let me tell you something. We are running out of time, but y'all better be prepared for what's coming, and it's not far down the road. I mean,
yeah, because the federal government setting up its own militia, its own private little army.
Not only that, but it's going to be terrible. I just can't get into it. 'cause we just don't have time. But look, you need
It's not good news,
No,
okay?
you need to get food stocked up. You just need to. And we'll be right back after these commercial messages.
Hey, welcome to the Cold Creek Entertainment Report of the Wilson County News. I'm Vic, Wolfie's twin brother, and I work for half price. I bet John really likes that. Yes, sirree. Now let's get down to something serious. We had a loss in the music industry this week of Mindy McCready. You remember Mindy, with many disappointments and struggles, with emotional disorders and battles with depression, who laid herself down beneath the wings of 10,000 angels of her very own at her home and residence in Arkansas this past week, ironically enough, where a male friend and lover had just 1 month before, apparently, having made the same final act of endearment, laid his life down on her porch too. Her roller coaster life had many ups and downs, from child custody battles and substance abuse and difficulties. I take my hat off to Mindy McCready. In spite of all of her disappointments, she had one whale of a career and was endeared by all of us. I shed a tear for Mindy. I have to get a little choked up over that. Now, getting back to some other stuff, let's have some fun now. Shelly Bush, the one and only Shelly Bush, will be appearing at Smitty's on the 4 Mile Hill in Lebanon with the all-girl Broad Band. Don't miss them. They are a knockout. If you've not seen them before, you need to. Now, on March 16th, we've got Jessica Brooks, who's going to be playing at Jimmy's Sports Bar. March the 30th, we've got Jason and the Punknicks. April 6th, One Must Fall. March the 23rd, Bobby Hayes will be playing with the Last Call Band. Now, do not forget the Teddy Bear Music Festival, beginning Saturday, April the 27th and Sunday the 28th. It's going to go for 48 hours at the James E. Ward Ag Building at the Wilson County Fairgrounds, 945 East Bad Door Parkway, Lebanon, Tennessee. RV and camping sites will be available. 2 stages of great entertainment, country, bluegrass, gospel, and music shows to benefit the Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital. Glenn Douglas Tubb, Dottie Snow Tubb, Razzie Bailey, and TJ Christian will be appearing along with 40 other acts, and a weekend of family fun and fantastic shows. There's going to be auctions and door prizes and giveaways, raffles, and more. There's going to be more candy than your kids can eat, hot dogs and mustard, and all kinds of fun. You can get your tickets half price online for $20 or pay $40 at the gate to get in for both days. Now, www.childrensteddybearfoundation.com. If you need to know more about it, you can find out there. Vendors and sponsors are welcome. We're going to have all kinds of concessions, so keep your pockets deep and line it with a lot of money, because there's kids out there that's going to want it. Bring teddy bears with you. You can give them away. The kids will love them. Goodness gracious, it's been presented by the CMG Radio Club International, CMG Radio Nashville, and the Children's Teddy Bear Foundation. Cameras are welcome. Bring a new teddy bear with you. Seating may be limited, so you might want to think about bringing your lounge chair with you and kick back down there and enjoy a nice, cool glass of iced tea. And make sure you say hi to Wolfie.
Everybody's talking.
Spring a leak or plug drain, who do you call? Bill Smith Plumbing. That means real big savings and getting the job done professionally. Residential or commercial, save money. Call Bill Smith Plumbing, 818-5508. That's 818-5508.
Hi, this is Jerry Kramer, and I am with the CMG Radio Club. We are bringing a great music festival extravaganza to Lebanon. April 27th and 28th, the whole weekend, a fun-filled family weekend. And there's 44 acts, 9 artists, and we'd like to invite you to come out. The details you can find at childrensteddybearfoundation.com. You can buy your tickets there too.
Let's face it, the economy is terrible. Here's a chance to make an extra $1,400 a month. Who couldn't use that?
That'll be $15.50 for the pizza. You got any gold?
These days, seems like everybody is trying to buy your gold.
Hey lady, I'll give you 20 bucks for those earrings.
But not everyone will pay you top dollar. At Lebanon Jewelry and Coin Exchange, 612 South Cumberland, we're always buying gold, 2975 South Rutherford Boulevard in Murfreesboro. We have been buying jewelry, coins, sterling silver, even broken jewelry for over 20 years. We will weigh your items right in front of you and pay you top dollar in cash. So bring your gold to one of these 2 locations. Why take your chances anywhere else?
Hello, Wilson County. My name is Jason Nash. I'm going to be the sports reporter here for the Wilson County News. I just wanted to introduce myself today. Let you know I'm dealing with a little bit of laryngitis. If my voice sounds dry and harsh, that'll be better in the future as we go. I wanted to cover some of the happenings here in sports, of course, in Wilson County. The big news being the Purple Tigers from Watertown going into the state tournament. I'm going to be reading an article here from Andy Reid at the Lebanon Democrat. So the article begins. Grace Baptist came up from Chattanooga, and Watertown's Purple Tigers treated the Golden Eagles like the Central Park Muggers greet visitors. They picked their pockets. The Purple Tigers took it to the Eagles from the start, and a rip-roaring purple-clad throng tugged into every nook and cranny of the gym. Watched their heroes punch the first-ever state tournament ticket with a 59-39 sectional win Monday night. Now, Watertown scored the first 6 points and was never threatened, as the Tigers took their 30th triumph against 3 losses of the season for the first time in the history of the century-old school. They led as much as 42-15 early in the second half, and even a 12-0 Grace run straddling the third and fourth quarters couldn't stop the Monday night party in Tigertown. Super proud of our kids, super proud of our program. Watertown coach Matt Bradshaw said shortly before his Tigers stepped up the ladder, one by one, to cut down the net. These seniors have done a great job all year long as far as committing themselves to doing what it took to get to this position. We had a conversation at the beginning of the year. There's a huge gap between 25 wins, last season's total, and 30 wins, and that we needed to close that gap. These kids did a good job committing themselves to doing the little things it took to get to this position. The Tigers roared to a 21-6 lead late in the first quarter, and 38-12 just before Brandon McQueen banked home a long three-pointer at the halftime buzzer for Grace, which was victimized through most of the night by Watertown's quickness all over the court. We knew we could get after them, and if we got after them early, we knew what ball pressure did to them, and our goal was to get after them and get some ball pressure, Bradshaw said. We did a great job early with that. Kind of backed off to let our kids calm down a little bit. Ty Jobe knocked down 19 points, Maceo Gaines 18, and Josiah Smith 11 from the Watertown backcourt, while Ethan Moss finished with 5, Nick Sackman 4, and Jake Belcher 2. McQueen threw in 3 triples and leading Grace with 15 points as the Eagles returned to Chattanooga with a final 12-16 mark. Fans arrived early for the game. Parking outside the school was scarce an hour before the 7 p.m. tip-off. They were out there waiting in line at 4:30, Bradshaw said. Watertown will play March 13th or 14th at Middle Tennessee State's Murphy Center in Murfreesboro. Pairings will be determined by a draw at 10 a.m. Saturday during a meeting for state tournament coaches. And we want to congratulate the Purple Tigers here in Wilson County. I mean, it's an amazing thing to get into the state tournament, and we hope they go all the way. And we'll be watching and reporting as we go. And once again, my name is Jason Nash, and I just wanted to introduce myself, let you know I'll be seeing you here in the future, and we'll be upping our game here as we go, and covering all sports in Wilson County. So look forward to seeing you soon, and stay tuned for these commercial messages, and we'll be right back.
Is Crook Auto Parts just another auto parts? No way! We rebuild starters and alternators. Auto technicians on site, the best parts men in Wilson County. And that means big savings for you. 444-9500, 444-9500.
That we operate under is not law. Okay? If you are a U.S. citizen, you're operating under public policy. Now, a lot of us think that public policy is the same thing as public law. We haven't had any laws at all since 1933. So what we have is we have a policy that you're operating under by consent. So with every policy that they try to pass, or they do pass, they call it an act. Now, if you've ever been to a play at school, for your children, they're in a play and it's an act, okay? And so you can tell that they're acting because they have on costumes. And so when they passed the Department of Motor Vehicles Act, they made sure that you knew that you were participating in an act and it wasn't real, okay? That's why they dressed up all the actors. We have costumes on the Highway Patrol. We have costumes on the Sheriff Department. We have costumes on the judge when you get there. You're participating in a suit when you get to court. Suit comes from the word suit. This guy is in a suit right now, and so the attorneys wear suits. That's their costume. And you show up, and you're supposed to dress just like a citizen. And most of you tonight are dressed like citizens. That's how we dress when we're citizens. So what I'm saying all that for, if that makes sense, is that if those were all laws, there would only be 10 of them there. Do you remember the guy, the Joker, in that movie? And the guy says, how many of your friends did I hurt? And he goes, 5. And he goes, so there's only 10 laws, okay? The rest of them are called statutes or codes, and they all fall under acts. Now here's the good news. I said all that to say this. In every act, in every statute, in every code, there's a remedy. And the remedy is not there for citizens. It's only there for the real man. Okay? Now when I say the real man, that's who you think you are. Okay? The flesh and blood. There's always remedy. There's remedy everywhere. I can't believe how many times I've heard in the last couple of weeks someone call me and say, I'm going to court for a dog barking ticket. And I'm going to do this. What do you think? Sounds good. Try it. You know what I'm saying? Now, all these acts, you're participating in them by consent. And one of the things that I'd like to talk about maybe the next time we come is the Pledge of Allegiance. The other consent that we have is when you gave up title to your car. You turned it into a vehicle and you entered it into the play. And so now you're no longer a traveler, you are a driver or you're an operator. And travelers don't get tickets. They can't. There's no law against traveling, even at the speed of sound. There's no law. I guarantee you. There's also no law for a traveler to carry a license.
Is Crook Auto Parts just another auto parts? No way! We rebuild starters and alternators. Auto technicians on site, the best parts men in Wilson County. And that means big savings for you. 444-9500, 444-9500.
That'll be $15.50 for the pizza. You got any gold?
These days, seems like everybody is trying to buy your gold.
Hey lady, I'll give you 20 bucks for those earrings.
But not everyone will pay you top dollar. At Lebanon Jewelry and Coin Exchange, 612 South Cumberland, or Always Buying Gold, 2975 South Rutherford Boulevard in Murfreesboro, we have been buying jewelry, coins, sterling silver, even broken jewelry for over 20 years. We will weigh your items right in front of you and pay you top dollar in cash. So bring your gold to one of these two locations. Why take your chances anywhere else?
Hi, this is Jerry Kramer, and I am with the CMG Radio Club. We are bringing a great music festival extravaganza to Lebanon, April 27th and 28th, the whole weekend, a fun-filled family weekend. And there's 44 acts, 9 artists, and we'd like to invite you to come out. The details you can find at childrensteddybearfoundation.com. You can buy your tickets there too.
Let's face it, the economy is terrible. Here's a chance to make an extra $1,400 a month. Who couldn't use that?
There's only licenses for operators and drivers. So if you understand all that stuff so far, I'm going to show you how this all started, because it's kind of like building a house. When you come up to a really nice house that's already built, you just get to notice how big it is. You can't break in. It's got an alarm system. You've got all these things going on with this house. The water, you don't see where the water line comes in. You don't see where the sewer goes out. It's all hid. And so that's where we come in. We come in, we're born into this, I want to call this onto this land, and pretty soon they've got us believing that we have to participate in the play. And so we see our government already structured this huge thing, and we don't see all the sewer going in and the water coming out. I said that right. We don't see the money going into the pipes, and we don't see the money going out of the pipes. Okay? We don't get to see any of that. But if you go back and see pictures of how the house was being built, you can see the backhoe out there on a piece of dirt grading off the weeds. And if you're a contractor, I like talking in those kind of terms because I build. I run equipment. I put in pipes. I've dropped in sewer lines, leach lines. I've done all that stuff. And so as you get going, you forget. You're standing there and you go, wow, oh, I'm standing on the septic tank right about here. Houses that I built, you go back later and you go, do you remember all the water lines had to go around that big rock that we found while we were trying to... So what I'm saying is, we're going to go back in time with history on some of this documentation from the District of Columbia and to see how it's all transpired. Okay? Now, can you zip it up a little bit higher? Okay, the initial review of the District of Columbia. Now, this is called an organic act. Now, I don't know, organic is the same thing as charter. And they hide words behind other words that have the same meaning so that you'll think organic means fresh. Okay?
Natural.
1871. It seems like it only sets up a local government like a Chicago or a Seattle. How do you get that they formed a private corporation? Okay, raise it up a little bit. If you take the act out of this historical context, from the present looking at the past, imagine who the parties involved are. We might agree, however, we cannot do that. To best understand what really happened, we have to follow a couple of principles. And the first one is you have to know who you are before you can understand anything else around you. Okay? If you think that you're a wolf cub out in the forest, okay, and you're freezing to death, and you find out later that you're a man and you can make fire, everything around you changes. So we've got to understand who you are first to understand this stuff. Okay, God created you to be the king on your land. The word is called sovereign. That means so over reigns. You're driving the horse. You got a hold of the reins. That's what so over reigns, sovereign means. Okay, so we'll raise it up a little bit more. Always know that yourself first. Discover the true nature of all the other parties second. Okay, all that you can pass up because it gets a little too deep right there. So right there where it says thus, to understand the parties involved in the District of Columbia Organic Act of 1871, think about that. That was only 140 years ago. Okay, 2 generations. That's it. So we're not that far back. Although they didn't have planes and cars and all that stuff there, most of the people in that time era were biblical. Okay, they had a Bible and they had a law book. Okay, they knew the law, and those are the 2 books that they had on their hearth of their fireplace. And instead of going home and watching TV, or going down to the gym, or whatever they did, whatever we do now, bridge club, NASCAR races, I mean, you got to understand that the de facto has put everything in front of us to keep us distracted. I mean, every sport you can think of is on TV. When I was a kid, we had, I think, 13 channels, maybe 12, because Channel 1 wasn't a channel. But we only had 12 channels, and if there wasn't something on TV that we liked, that thing was off most of the time. We were out playing. I mean, I didn't have video games. And our children don't have the same thing that's going on. And if you look at the underlying of what all's going on with that, they're using all of that to keep us beat down, to keep us tired, to keep us working, and so that we don't go on the internet and read the District of Columbia Act from 1871. So anyway, I'm going to go down about the 3rd sentence. We're not going to get into this act entirely, suffice to say, looking over the situations we find that the act is one made by the original jurisdiction Congress. So this was made by the original Congress, okay, the good Congress. Right out of the Civil War, it started being a little more, the Congress was a little corrupt because the South walked out, and so they appointed people at gunpoint to come in and pass this stuff. But nevertheless, they were still operating as a de jure type of government. Okay?
Question.
Okay.
Actually, a comment. There's also inside that document, you're not going to read it, but there's a limitation as to the amount of land that the federal government can set aside for purposes such as the District of Columbia.
We're going to get into that. Yeah. Really good.
Sorry.
That's okay. Now, there's a guy that studied history. Let's give him an applause. I'm serious. Okay, the District of Columbia was originally provided for in the Constitution for the United States. That's the original one from 1787 at Article 1, Section 8, specifically in the last 2 clauses, on July 16th in 1790. So a good thing that was put aside by our congressmen or by our forefathers was corrupted by some people that had other agenda in them, okay, in their pocket. The territory included the actual government. Under the Act, Congress also made the president the civic leader of the local government in all matters in that territory. So the president was a civil leader, a civic leader. You see how that, he wasn't even the president. Now, if I were to change the name of the District of Columbia to the District of Mexico, and we allowed Mexico to build a 10 square mile capital area in the middle of Oklahoma, okay, and we said you guys could stay there and you could pass all the laws that you want. I've got to say Oklahoma because that would be right in the middle of the heart of our country, okay. Now, right in the middle of the heart of our country back then was Washington, D.C. So, but if we let Mexico set up a little spot there and we told them they could hire a little president and they could do their own little thing, but they only had jurisdiction over that 10 square miles, what would we care? Would you care? Would anybody care?
Hi, this is Jerry Kramer, and I am with the CMG Radio Club. We are bringing a great music festival extravaganza to Lebanon. April 27th and 28th, the whole weekend, a fun-filled family weekend. And you can, there's 44 acts, 9 artists, and we'd like to invite you to come out. The details you can find at childrensteddybearfoundation.com. You can buy your tickets there too.
Let's face it, the economy is terrible. Here's a chance to make an extra $1,400 a month. Who couldn't use that?
Amalino Dr. I, it's the movement. Amalino Dr. I, it's the movement. Amalino Dr. I, it's the movement. Amalino Dr. I, I'm hiding, I'm on fire. 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 Rappers in my city, mad praying, wishing I retired. Cause it's the movement. I told y'all, Jonesy, Jersey.
Crook Auto Parts just another auto parts? No way! We rebuild starters and alternators. Auto technicians on site, the best parts men in Wilson County. And that means big savings for you. 444-9500, 444-9500.
I mean, they had to stay to themselves, okay? Any laws that they passed was only for the citizens of that area and their employees. Okay, go ahead.
Isn't that what an embassy is? Isn't that like that is a foreign foreign jurisdiction in our country? Isn't that what?
Real close. That's
okay.
kind of how this got started. Okay, let's raise it up just a little higher. On February 27th, 1801, under the 2nd District of Columbia Act, 2 countries were formed and the respective officers and district judges were appointed. Further, the established town, raise it up some more, governments of Alexandria, Georgetown, and Washington were recognized as constituted and placed under the laws of the district, its judges, etc. So the United States Supreme Court has repeatedly called this act the District of Columbia Organization Act. So they're an organization. Okay? Or the Charter Act of the District of Columbia. Now, if you look up the word charter...
Okay, I'm gonna yell this out. Charter is a document issued by a sovereign or state outlining the conditions under which a business, city, or other corporate body is organized and defining its rights and privileges.
Okay, so the District of Columbia got its privileges from the sovereign. Okay? That's you and me. We are the descendants of the sovereign. So we are sovereigns. Okay? According to the United States Supreme Court, the Charter Acts, first acts, were the official incorporation of the formal government of the District of Columbia. Now, I want you to notice that the official incorporation of a formal government, not the United States of America. It doesn't say America. It says the government of the District of Columbia, as chartered by Congress in accord with the Constitution's privileges or provisions. So what they did is they took something good and they subbed it out. We don't want to mess with this. We're going to let them do it. Okay? Are you guys following this so far? Yeah. Okay. Again, the Supreme Court called that the body of government a corporation with the right to sue and be sued. Now that's good news for you and me. They have the right to be sued.
Make me the happiest, most busy man in the world, and please, will you marry me?
What? Oh. Oh my God. That is brutal. It's all right, man. It's all right.
Oh my God.